Guns in Canada. A viewer recently asked us to do a piece on ATC permits in Canada. And ATC stands for Authorization to Carry, which is a vehicle, I guess, that allows you to carry a firearm. You can either carry concealed or in the open. They're federal permits. They're given, though, by provincial CFO people, which stands for Chief Firearm Officers, to Canadian citizens. You have to be a citizen and actually to apply for one. Good luck trying to get one, but I'll get into that in a minute. And as said, they allow you to carry a restricted or prohibited pistol openly or concealed. You know, typically it has to be occupation related, like an armored vehicle personnel, and the second common use, which is extremely uncommon because of course they don't issue them, is for self-defense. And in Canada, you need to know that the rights of banks come before the right of life. That's just the way it is. That's a liberal kind of thing, but anyway, that's been going on for probably 25 years. It's a sad story. So go out and try to apply for an ATC, and I'd like to wish you luck, because it just ain't going to happen. These guys are a bunch of little commies that sit in rooms with thick glasses, and they pull the blinds down, and they talk all day about how not to do the job that they were hired to do. They create their own rules, and they do it pretty well, and they're in control. The government in Canada is not in control. Unfortunately, the country is out of control with regard to appointed people who run so many different areas or parts of the government. But back to this particular one, this is under the firearm law, or the firearm umbrella, I guess, and these officers are all over the place. I'm in British Columbia right now where I'm doing this, so I'll use that as an example. I'm in Kelowna, BC. There's about 100,000 people live in Kelowna. In Summerland, which is outside of Kelowna, I think there's like 15,000 people. I might not be right about numbers. And I think there's a dozen people in the office there for the CFO office. What do they do? No one knows. 8 of them at a time will go into a gun store to do an audit. They're just out there doing things to make things complicated, doing things that and it's very difficult. I took them to court a while ago because I applied for an ATC, and I said, in my world, I often buy real estate and I look at land to resell and so on. I'm not a miner, but I'm up in the wilds a lot, often on horseback and more often probably hiking on foot. And I see a lot of wild animals and like to carry a gun. I have carry permits in the U.S. I have all the permits required that I can get, at least in Canada. And can I have this? It took me a year of filling out forms back and forth. So complicated you want to just give up. I didn't, because of this show. I wanted to be able to share someday all of the events of the same, right? And finally, I had to beg them, literally, for a yes or a no. I said, give me a no. Deal with this. So I got a no. You ask for a no, guess what? You get a no. I took them to court. Their defense was that it was a federal matter, not a provincial matter. They were successful in court. I now have to sue them again in federal court. And in court, when we were there, I spoke to the fellow before court, for the hearing, and he said, carry a long gun. I told you that in a letter. Why do you need a handgun? I said, well, because I'm on a horse. I got papers in my hand. It's my life. Well, it's not, that's too convenient. You don't need the convenience of a handgun. I said, my life is inconvenient. You could argue with them all day long. It doesn't change things. I mean, they're a bunch of commie guys, and they're not going to give in and let you do it. So the only way you can protect your life is to carry a long gun or to carry a handgun illegally, and then count on the Canadian Bill of Rights and whatever it is to save your bacon. And it probably will in most cases. You can carry a gun in a pack sack, and if the police ever come and search you, they didn't have a right to search you, and you might or probably will get it thrown out of court. Terrible way to live, though, when you can't protect yourself. So all you can do is fill out the forms, and I think keep applying, but keep talking to government officials to try to help us save the day, someday, and maybe even save a life. And I think if every gun owner in Canada did it, send us an email here. That'd be good, info@rightedition.com. And if we had enough people who were willing to participate and all apply for a concealed permit the same day, hundreds of thousands of us, it's people power. I think we could have an impact, but at the moment, we don't have a lot of impact. You've got the CFO people who effectively are running the gun world that we're in, and they're saying that you want to protect something, we'll let you protect money, we'll give you a job driving a Brinks truck, but we're never going to let you protect your life against a cougar or a person that breaks into your home. So you have to do it illegally, because that's common sense. Can you imagine being in a country where you have to beg somebody to look after your life? Doesn't make any sense. But that's the status of the ATC. Hopefully that covered your questions. fellow that wrote in, and let's talk about this on our chat line. Get on our website, because we have a chat line, and talk about the ATC permits in Canada.